everybody. Grant Miller here. I'm with Mayor Daniella Levine Cava.
Great to be with you, Grant.
It's truly an honor. Every time I think how great the county's moving, and you just keep driving it and driving it, and you have a tough road because everybody in the county before you worked harder and harder. So it's not getting easier. And our population's how many now?
Almost 3 million.
It's impressive.
Yes.
All right. So we're here to talk about a solid waste campus.
Yes.
We use the word campus. It is the one burnt down in Doral, correct?
The waste to energy facility burned down.
So what is going to be the solid waste campus? What is that exactly going to be?
Well, I think you know that I'm a big environmentalist. So, of course, my question is, what's modern? What's technologically advanced? What's good for the environment? What can we come up with that will be an alternative and really put us ahead of the curve?
The machine that was there that burnt down, how old was that?
40 years.
Okay.
And it was actually really not... As proved the case, it really should not have been extended, and it was extended. So we have to maintain our all of our infrastructure, but in this case, really, it was not the right decision. So we should have been looking at alternatives already. So here we had a tragedy that happened, something burned down, and it created a great opportunity. So I came up with the idea, let's look across the world and see what are the modern responses to dealing with waste, and it's taken us a year and a half to come up with a more comprehensive approach.
You went around the world. Was it you or your directors?
I went to Japan, and a big part of that trip was to see what they do in Japan. Japan is famously clean.
Spotless, no nothing.
Yes. They don't even have waste receptacles on the street. You have to take it home and process it correctly so that it's recycled or repurposed in the right way. It's quite incredible.
So you went to Japan. Where else did you go?
Well, I did not personally go. The team went to Great Britain, and they visited in Ireland and I believe in Great Britain as well. And others have been to other European plants.
When you say other, you mean board members or?
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes, and staff and board members, and we've also met with representatives on the Dubai plant. So we've met with many companies that do business in this country as well and that are building out new facilities. We consulted with EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, other scientists and experts, and really worked hard to come up with how we could incorporate a range of solutions to the waste problem.
In the United States, who has the best?
Well, certainly West Palm has a facility that was built recently and is new technology and is better, but they're actually looking at replacing it as well.
After a couple years?
Well, it's been, I think, I don't know exactly how many years, something between 10 and 20 years.
New. It's still new.
It's relatively new, and it has served them well, but they apparently want to upgrade. It takes a while to do all of that. And there are only about 75 waste-to-energy plants in the United States, but there are many, many hundreds around the world. And I was very surprised to learn that 15% of the waste worldwide is actually processed by waste-to-energy facilities. But the important thing is that they're very different than the old models. And in fact, the EPA has come up with new standards that I believe are the toughest in the world. And so anything that we would build would meet those higher standards.
You know, people get confused. They see the big mountain of trash. They see we're trying to get machines to do what? They will burn.
Well, a waste-to-energy facility, which again is just part of an overall waste campus,
right,
is at extraordinarily high temperatures. And so what's left, the residue, is very, very little. It's also looks like it's one important way to deal with PFAS, the forever chemicals that we're very concerned about, that apparently that is a way that PFAS can be eliminated from the waste stream, and we're very worried about that as well. But I just want to underscore, I am an environmentalist. I'm very concerned to find things that would be good for the environment and good for people's health. And so it's taken us a year and a half to do this deep dive before we've come forward with the suggestion that waste to energy would be a part of our solution. But of course, we have to recycle better. We have to compost, which we're looking at how to do that at scale.
When you say we, you mean the residents or the county?
Well, the county only handles about 40% of the waste produced in Miami-Dade County. So the cities, many of them have their own contracts, private haulers, and also corporations might have their own companies that handle their waste. So it's about 5 million tons, per year, and about 2 million are currently handled by Miami-Dade County through our own facilities, right, and contracts.
So what's the best option right now?
So with all of that to be said, we are looking seriously at how to reduce our waste. That really is the most important thing of all. So under my direction, we are bringing on board a zero waste consultant so we can incorporate other methods.
Is that a local person or?
No, it's in the cone of silence right now, the contract, but it was bid on by people
across the country.
And so that will be someone who will help inform whether we can incorporate what's called anaerobic digestion, which is a very efficient form as well and doesn't create any emissions, as I understand it. Look, landfill, which has been the main solution for so long, is the least environmentally friendly. It produces methane, which is a much worse gas than carbon dioxide, and we are running out of space to do landfilling regardless because we don't have that much capacity left. We have been contracting for more of it to be taken out of our county. That is not long-term sustainable either, and we can't control the price. That is set by others. So there's just a host of reasons that we're looking at a combination of improved recycling, reducing our waste, more yard waste, for example, that can be used for other purposes, as well as the composting, anaerobic digestion, along with waste to energy.
So people can make it clear, you've been, since this thing happened, you're shipping it. You're taking it's training transportation through a train, I guess.
So we are using trucks, but we also have the we're moving forward with the train as well.
Okay, just
yes.
Big question in Miami: transparency. People want to. This is a big topic. You know. Yes. How do we make sure that everybody sees everything?
Yeah.
How do we make it more transparent?
Yeah. So I ran for public office because of transparency.
How many years ago was that?
Wait. 10. I've been in office 10 years. 4 to go. Thank you very much. So I know that it's all about trusting government, and that includes transparency. So I've worked really hard to include the public in pretty much everything we do. Now, we have had town halls on this subject. We've posted up our website. We want people to check it out. And we know that ultimately the Board of County Commissioners votes on these major decisions, but we're here talking to you. We want the public to know where we are and to understand. And at the end of the day, I am confident that what we are going to be doing will be the safest and most modern solution to waste in this country.
It's going to be the leader.
Exactly. Thank you very much. That is exactly right. We had a challenge. Now we have an opportunity to really do it right, and that's why we're studying everything and consulting with experts. And I know people are nervous about incineration, but it's just not what happened before. This is an entirely different process that it doesn't create odors, but also is safer than pretty much walking down the street. That's what the studies show.
Every time somebody sees a mountain of trash, they first think of the odor. They go, let's wind the window, let's see if it smells. And this new process eliminates that.
Correct. There is no odor. But also just to remind people that trash piles, landfills, are the most difficult, problematic of all because of the methane. The methane is a much more injurious pollution than carbon dioxide.
The solid waste system
yes,
is very expensive in Dade County.
It is.
But with having this new process, and long term will lower the costs?
Yes, we believe that this is more cost effective than just continuing to truck or train the waste other places, again, where we don't have control over it. So we think that this can help others in the region as well. While we're doing our 2 million tons per year,
right.
maybe cities can take advantage of the more modern approach that we're taking, and private companies as well.
You're going to have a campus education center. Explain that in detail about that.
Yes.
More interesting about that.
Yes. So this was really striking to me in Japan, and certainly in Palm Beach as well. It's a place where people go to learn about trash. Look, people don't usually think about it. You put it out on the curb and, you close your eyes.
Right.
You don't pay attention.
You put recycle here, non-recycle, and the recycle's in the wrong bin anyway.
Correct. Although, by the way, we've increased our compliance with recycling by 10% since I've been on board, pushing the education and also compliance measures. So I'm very excited about that, but we have more to do. We don't want to have contaminated recycling. We want people to recycle right. So yeah, people usually don't think about it after that. So this is creating an opportunity to educate people, and that will hopefully lead in turn to them being more thoughtful about refusing. You don't have to have takeout containers. You don't have to. You can recycle, right? You can reuse containers. And we need to talk, for example, with our tourism industry, because a big reason that we produce double the national average of waste in Miami-Dade County is because of the number of tourists, and that's in a kind of a throwaway disposable approach.
And tourism, I'm taking a wild guess, or you could take a wild. How many millions come here a year?
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
Yes, so we know we are a mecca, and we're thrilled to be discovered. Of course, our airport is the fastest growing in the country.
And the cruise lines.
And the cruise lines. We are still the cruise capital of the world. And yeah, I mean, we are booming from a tourism perspective, and we just need, there's something called behavioral economics. I don't know if you remember this, but when you put a sign in the hotel room, you don't need to change my sheets every day, that kind of a thing. People will choose not to change the sheets every day. If you say 80% of the people that stay in this hotel don't change their sheets every day, even more people opt to not change their sheets every day. So we can create those sorts of behavioral incentives for people around throwaway culture. And so that's part of what we plan to do.
Do you have a location where that education? I think it's exciting because if you start, but it's going to take how many years to build this facility?
Yeah, it could be 10 years.
So if you start with a child that's in first grade,
yes,
and you take him to the education center, by the time he finishes elementary school or high school, he or she will understand.
Well, and they go home to the families and they say, this is the recycle, what you recycle, this you don't. Mom and Dad, we don't need to buy this throwaway container. We can, fill our own.
Right, it's exciting because the education center will serve all of Dade County. And if you train the younger people, by the time that machine is fixed or done, it's really incredible.
So you do it with games. You do it with, how many guesses do you get? Is this recyclable or not? It's very fun. It's interactive and for all ages.
Well, when that education center opens, I guarantee it, more kids will do their community projects around that.
Yes, very good point.
Have we decided, when I say we, the county commissioners decided where this is going to be located?
Not yet. So
when is that decided?
Well, it's on the agenda
for Wednesday.
For next week, Wednesday. And of course, what's been happening is that there's a flurry of activity. All kinds of people and companies are coming forward with new ideas, new suggestions. So we're trying really hard to examine all of these opportunities. I'll put it like that, so we can get a complete picture.
Right now, you have 4 or 5 options in Miami.
Yes.
It's a tough call.
It is.
And everybody, it's not in my backyard.
For sure.
And I compare, I know it's such a funny thing, as you know, I coached baseball a long time, and nobody wants parks in their backyard, but lights are different. The lights are now from 30 years ago to now, you don't even know there's a park behind you as the incendiary.
That's a really interesting analogy.
Yeah, it's like, nobody wants it in my backyard, but it's changed. You won't know it's in your backyard now when the new machine gets put in.
Yeah, I mean, many of these state-of-the-art facilities in Europe are right in the middle of downtown. Dublin, for example. It's right there. And also they put not just education centers. In Japan, they had a community center and a heated pool right on premises. So people are coming in from the surrounding area to pass the time and socialize, and recreate right there on site.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's we're looking for the future, and I'm excited that we're advancing on these issues. The waste people talk about recycling all the time.
Yes.
Is it right? Is it wrong? And with this education center, by the time that's built, things will change, and hopefully all Dade County participates in this.
Yes, we're really hopeful that this is a great opportunity to educate people and to get to zero waste. We can get there, folks. We can reduce our waste.
If you have any questions, you can reach the mayor. What's your email?
Well, we have a generic email
yeah,
account
that's
at
good.
mayor@miamidade.gov. I only suggest that because we have experts, not me,
Right,
who can
that's-
better answer the questions. Yes.
All right. If you have any questions with the mayor, reach out. Everybody, Grant